Reporting from Israel for EndTimes.com. This is Brian Schrauger. In the aftermath of the U.S. presidential debate between President Joseph Biden and former President Donald Trump, there is a tremendous amount of passion among U.S. voters. In Israel, there is keen interest in the U.S. presidential campaign, and there's passion. The passion here, however, is almost entirely in response to the war with Hamas, a pending war with Hezbollah, an annihilation threat by Iran, and perhaps most of all, profound grief and anger about Israeli hostages still being held by Hamas in Gaza. Israeli passion about these things is impossible to fully communicate across the Mediterranean and Atlantic Oceans. The passion here, the passion that infuses the entire atmosphere of Israel, is a passion of grief, loss, and existential fear. The counterbalance of the Jewish culture's affirmation of life in the midst of this passion is not gone. It is, however, diminished as much as it ever has been since the resurrection of the Jewish state in 1948. The distance from Washington, D.C. to Jerusalem is about 6,000 miles. That distance, combined with the unique passions of Israelis today, makes for a different kind of reaction to the Biden-Trump debate than can be found in virtually any U.S. publication, pub, pulpit, or podcast. Yes, there are some here who love Biden and hate Trump, versus others who love Donald and hate Joe. But not many, certainly not enough to overcome the prevailing Israeli passions of sorrow, loss, and existential fear. Because of distance and a profoundly different reality, reaction here to the debate is almost entirely about its effect on Israel's ability to overcome today's growing threats to life and to existence. Ron Ben-Ishai is one Israeli journalist who has articulated concerns about the potential effect of the debate as it relates to the war with Hamas in Gaza, the return of hostages held by Hamas, pending war with Hezbollah in Lebanon, Iranian development of nuclear weapons, and the health of Israeli relations with its most important ally, the United States of America. Ron Ben-Ishai is unknown to Americans. Here, however, he is regarded as nothing less than the most respected journalist in Israel. His 50-year career is remarkable. At the age of 80, he continues on-the-ground reporting that includes embedding himself with the idea in the middle of active operations in Gaza. Why focus on Ron Ben-Ishai? Two reasons. His voice reflects the perspective of many, if not most, Israelis. Also, he's in the same generation as President Biden and former President Trump. In short, his point of view is both meaningful and credible. On 28 June, only hours after the Biden-Trump debate, Ben-Ishai published an article in Israel's largest newspaper, Yediot Aharonot. Written in Hebrew, his analysis of the outcome and, more importantly, its ramifications, deserves careful consideration by all of us who stand with the Jewish state of Israel. With reservations about both candidates for president, also pervasive here, Ben-Ishai concludes that while President Biden has both helped and hindered Israel since 7 October, his performance in the debate all but guarantees he will not win the ballot on 5 November, a mere 4 months away. If former President Trump wins the election, Ben-Ishai acknowledges that he is and will be a friend of Israel, but is unlikely to work seamlessly with Prime Minister Netanyahu. Like President Biden, Trump too is not a Bibi fan. The big question, though, is the immediate impact of the debate on threats posed by Iran's nuclear program, the war in Gaza, negotiations for release of hostages still held by Hamas, the serious possibility of war with Hezbollah in Lebanon, and the health of Israel's relationship with the United States of America. As we consider these things, keep in mind they come from a distinct Israeli perspective. Taken from Benny Shai's article on 28 June, they are his outlooks. Outlooks, however, that also reflect a broad consensus of Israeli perspectives. If you are not yet a subscriber to endtimes.com and would like to see this report and others like it, I urge you to subscribe right now at the website endtimes.com. For only $7 a month, you will receive a wealth of information and insight from Jimmy Evans, Mark Hitchcock, and experts from around the world, including Israelis living right here in the Jewish state. Do yourself a favor, sign up today.